From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Hey everybody, welcome to SportsLine, live here on News Channel 5 Plus, the Wednesday extravaganza. Jon Burton, great to be with you, and we got a great show for you tonight. The WWE Hall of Famer, Hendersonville's own Jeff Jarrett is going to join me right here live in studio. We're going to talk all things professional wrestling. And if you know Jeff, he's got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to catch up with all of that in just a couple of minutes. But until then, let's get you caught up on what's going on with the Titans. They signed 3 more players today. Backup quarterback Logan Woodside, defensive tackle Tier Tart, and as well as wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina. So 3 more players signed back to the roster. Each gets a 1-year deal. Of course, the big news yesterday, Harold Landry III getting the big free agent contract to stay here in Tennessee with the Tennessee Titans. Some big news around the league. Carson Wentz traded from the Colts to Washington in exchange for multiple draft picks. So a lot of movement as we are just about a week away from the start of the NFL free agency period. So a lot of moves being made. Of course, Aaron Rodgers announcing he's staying with the Packers yesterday. And of course, Russell Wilson getting traded from the Seahawks to the Denver Broncos. Last week at the NFL Combine, Mike Vrabel talked about possible player movement and the entire Titans offseason. Let's take a couple of minutes to listen to what he had to say last week in Indy.
No, neither Luke nor I celebrated those honors, but it is an amazing job that he's done. Tried to emulate what he's done. He's one of those mentors for me as a coach, having spent 3 years with him at Ohio State. So extremely proud of Luke and what he's done at Cincinnati.
He's just got to continue to see that. To be able to go through this process over and over and over again.
No, not then. I wasn't a very good coach, but I was available in a pinch, and so I tried to improve as a coach and learned a lot of things, and Luke was obviously part of that process.
Those are the things that we know he needs to work on. He knows he needs to work on, and I have no doubt that he'll continue.
I don't know how much theme there was in the award to begin with. You're upset anytime somebody leaves that is valuable to the organization. Obviously. Like everything else, I think we try to evaluate, what those 15 minutes look like, or 18 minutes, for example, and how much information you can find out and have a conversation about what they remember as their preparation, maybe what the keys to the game were, or the keys in the offensive line room, who they were going against, if they know if it's a 4 down front or 3 down front, how they may ID certain blocking schemes or routes, and then the conversation kind of goes from there. Hey, Jimmy. Good. Well, from a coaching standpoint, I'll start there, because I think that's the group that I have direct access to right now. We're going to continue to try to become better teachers. Our job is to try to develop the players that we do have. We understand the role we have there, and we'll always try to continue to improve our relationships with the players, so that we know exactly what they need, what they may have going on, how we can help them off the field, and how we can teach them better, how we hold them accountable, how we make a connection so that you can coach them hard. So that's, I know, where we're starting. Schematically, we're also working through a lot of things in our self-scout, in all 3 phases of the team, and that's kind of where we're at. And then once the players get back, we'll have an area of focus for them. We'll have, some things that they've done really well. And to me, the biggest thing is understanding, making sure the player understands where we see them and how they see themselves, and what are some things that we can do to help them.
He's just a great person, great team guy, great communicator. Brings a lot of energy to this.
Yeah, I think to give some context to where that came from. Hadn't had a role like that until last year, or previous to last year. And Jim Schwartz and I had multiple conversations, and I decided to add sort of that role on defense, and that was something that, I know helped us, and not only during the week, but also on game day. There's someone that has had experience, that wasn't looking for any sort of credit, that didn't have an agenda, and when that person, the right person, became available, and Tim Kelly, we were able to make it work. And so I think we're still trying to define what that is right now. That there's conversations between me and Todd and Tim and Keith as we watch through our off season and the coaching staff and what we may want to add, and then we'll see where things progress during the season and what area.
Normally we don't interrupt Titans head coach Mike Vrabel when he's doing a press conference, but we're doing so for good reason tonight, because joining us live in studio, you know this guy, WWE Hall of Famer, Hendersonville's own, the legend, Jeff Jarrett, live in studio. Welcome back, Jeff. It's been a while since we had you here.
Now, John, listen, I've been hated a lot in my career, but I don't need to get that hate from the Titan fans. We're interrupting Vrabel.
Well,
you're trying to get me hated even more.
Well, this was from last week. People already know what he said.
What about A-Rod?
Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about everything tonight. We're going to talk pro wrestling. We're going to talk sports. You and I are going to continue our discussion about Steph Curry. You remember last time you were on my radio show with Greg Pogue?
What is wrong with you?
He and I really got into it when he was on my radio show with Greg Pogue. It was a few months ago. You're on for our Pick It with the Pickers segment, and you just attacked me about Steph Curry.
Yes.
And we're going to get into that.
He revolutionized the game, but go ahead. This is your show.
Okay, well, fine. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers deciding to stay put in Green Bay. I mean, for $200 million over the next 4 years, I think I would go just about anywhere other than the Ukraine.
Here's the thing that I want to get some feedback from you on this. It's about the money for him.
Oh, yeah.
Do you win championships that way? Because he just wanted to be said. He wanted a 4-year deal. He wants to be.
He wants the love. He wants the love. He wants to be the highest paid.
He wants the money. He doesn't want the love. He doesn't want the compassion. He doesn't want the camaraderie. He doesn't want the teamwork. He wants to say, I'm the highest paid player in the league, in the most lucrative league in the entire world.
Do you think he got a little butthurt when Mahomes got his deal, $45 million a year?
I think he got a lot. I do. I think he got a lot. But the thing is, he's such a good player.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is he? And look, during the last, we'll call it 12 to 18 months, he's taken a page out of professional wrestling. He's on Pat McAfee's show all the time.
Working his angles, cutting promos.
Exactly. He's turned into a heel. And now with this contract, the highest paid player in the league. But I don't think that's going to work out for him.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and Aaron Rodgers has been great, but you know me. I'm from New York. I'm a Giants fan, all right? I know we stink right now. We're terrible. We're terrible, okay? And I cover the Titans, and unfortunately, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. We're going to talk about the Titans as well tonight.
Boy.
But just a little comparison.
2nd and 1.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
Go ahead.
I know. Aaron Rodgers, okay? Career playoff record, 11-10. 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl MVP. Eli Manning, career playoff record, 8-4. 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Now, am I saying that Eli Manning is better than Aaron Rodgers? No, I am not. But sometimes you wonder with Aaron, does the sizzle come with does the steak come with the sizzle, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze? He's a big headache. He learned it from Brett Favre, who was a major headache his last few years in Green Bay. It's just something about being an iconic Green Bay quarterback. Was Bart Starr like this? I know we're not old enough to know, but I wonder, was Bart Starr like this when he was the quarterback of the Packers?
John, I'm going to go right back to Steph Curry competition. Steph Curry wins championships.
He does.
James Harden is a stat guy.
Yep.
A-Rod, he's a stat guy.
Russell Westbrook, stat guy.
So what, when you go back and look in the history of the league, where is Aaron Rodgers really going to fall?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's not going to. You're going to look at Eli, and look, Eli and the Manning cast, and it's all that good stuff going on right now. He won 2 Super Bowls. He's a gamer, period.
Yep.
A-Rod can't say that right now.
Yeah. All right. So also, you got Russell Wilson getting traded from the Seahawks to the Broncos. And I think all of a sudden this makes the Broncos a legitimate contender in the AFC. They already have a really good defense, good running game, good weapons on the outside. They seem like they were a quarterback away, and now Russ is going to be cooking in the Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountain oysters. You ever have them?
Here we go. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Russ in Denver. Are you? I don't know.
He's good. I don't know if he's as good as people say he is.
Well, the thing is, he's been in that Seahawks system. He's had one head coach. For whether you love or hate Pete, kind of look at their track record and their success. They won. Now he's shifting gears. I understand why he's shifting gears.
Sure.
But I don't know, man. I don't know that he's the missing piece in Denver. It's a quarterback-driven league. I get all that. Without a QB, you're not going to be put over the top.
Right.
But look, A-Rod's a stat guy and a great quarterback, but didn't put them over the top. So we're going to talk Joe Burrow today.
We're going to talk Joe Burrow. We're going to talk Patrick Mahomes. And we got to talk Ryan Tannehill too.
Oh, we got to talk wrestling.
Yeah, we're going to talk wrestling. We're going to talk about whatever you want. Okay, this is your show. No, it's your show, Jeff. By the way, I mean, you're the busiest man in America. I cannot keep up with you, man.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You know what I mean? Let everybody know, what are you up to these days?
Oh gosh, where do I start? The last couple of weeks, me and my wife Karen, we've been on the road. We went up in, man, this is a lot of fun. I'll tell the story. I was up in right outside of Buffalo.
Oh yeah. You used to live there?
Yeah, Batavia. We did an autograph signing, and there was wrestlers there, but really it was a Buffalo Bill signing. There were some Pittsburgh Steelers. Greg Lloyd was there.
Okay.
Hines Ward was there.
Nice.
Steve Tasker was there.
Yeah.
Thurman Thomas was there.
Oh,
and
my God, Thurm.
We got into a good Music City Miracle. I didn't realize that was his last game as a Bill.
That's right.
So lots of folks up there still say it's a forward pass. But anyway, you ask. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. But anyway, I launched the podcast.
I love it, by the way.
Just under a year. My World with Jeff Jarrett. That thing has just... I'm humbled by it. It's really exploded. It's taken off in so many directions. But the podcast, we can talk baseball. I'm a minor league.
That's right. You're a baseball team owner.
Minority,
but still, you're part of the ownership group.
In Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
The Lucky Horseshoes. We just rebranded all that.
That's awesome.
I'm working with a gaming company, video game. It's got a new game coming out. I can't talk too much about that because we're sort of under confidentiality.
When do you sleep, man? When do you sleep?
Oh, I get my good 6.5 a night.
I know, that's a good night for me. I mean, but you've always been that way ever since, we met several years ago when I moved here. I'd always followed your career, but you've always been that guy. You always got something cooking. You don't like to stay still for too long.
I don't. And I got an international wrestling project going on. So I do have a bunch of things going on. As we both know, the reason I'm here tonight on the show is it's kind of a homecoming type deal, but March 19th and 20th.
Yep.
NWA's coming to town. Crockett Cup. There's so much nostalgia in that event. I can remember as a high school when I was going to Goodpasture, the first couple of Crockett Cups were done. So Crockett Cup's coming to Nashville, out at the fairgrounds, sports arena. I can't call it the sports arena. That's what we used to call it.
That's what we used to call it. That's right. That's right.
So anyway, the exhibition halls.
Yep.
But anyway, March 19th and 20th.
I'm actually going to be involved with that as well, doing some backstage interviews and some social media stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to talk about your role in that because you're going to have a very significant role in that particular event. But when you think about Jim Crockett Promotions here in the South and professional wrestling, obviously your dad, a legendary promoter in the Memphis territory. Everybody knows Jeff Jarrett, his story, and then how you came along, became a world champion professional wrestler. But man, Jim Crockett Promotions wrestling. I mean, when you live in the South and you follow wrestling, that's where it starts.
And the Crockett Cup, so the non-wrestling event, it's a tag team tournament that's legendary, and back when in the early '80s when it blossomed and all that, and with Conrad, my podcast partner, he does a podcast with Tony Schiavone, who's on the air right now probably, but. They really dive into Jim Crockett Promotions, but for the NWA and Billy Corgan and the whole group and just how they've carried that brand, and you witnessed it like I've had. It's really a cool deal, and for them to come and be coming to Nashville with the Crockett Cup, a 2-day event, it's really a special event.
I just think it's just great to hear the letters NWA, associated with professional wrestling. All right, I hope you're well rested because we got a lot to talk about.
I may take my sport coat off and no.
We're going to take our first break. We're going to come back. We got plenty to get to with the legend, WWE Hall of Famer, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, here on SportsLine. Stay with us.